Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to explore something I think impacts, well, all of us, and that is employee experience design.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's one of those, it's more than just an HR term, right?
Right.
It's about creating a work life that feels good, like it's fulfilling. So we're diving into this visual today by Sylvia Ola from the Strengths Company.
Wonderful visual. Yeah.
It's like a light bulb moment. It's for anyone who's ever felt stuck in a job that just didn't get them.
Yeah, I think, one of the things that's so striking about this visual is how it captures that feeling of disconnect.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people feel at work. It's really cool how she does it. She literally depicts a boss,
Right.
standing on top of a mountain of employees.
Oh, wow.
And he's clueless.
Yeah.
She calls this blind leading the disengaged.
That's such a potent image.
It is.
It's like that cartoon version, like every time you've ever been frustrated and thought, my manager doesn't get it.
Right, exactly.
But it makes you think, what if you could just flip that whole dynamic?
Yeah.
What if instead of bosses on top, oblivious, what if they were tuned into what employees actually need, like to thrive?
And I think that's exactly the shift that employee experience design, or EXD, is all about. It's about removing the friction between employees and the organization. It's about creating a work environment where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. It's the evolution of HR.
So we're talking about more than just free snacks and ping pong tables.
Way more.
Right. We're talking about a fundamental change in how companies approach their people.
Absolutely. And Ola's visual, it's not just a critique. It's a roadmap.
I like that.
She maps out the entire employee life cycle, from when you're first attracted to a company, through hiring and onboarding, all the way to eventually departing.
Right.
And at each stage, she kind of pinpoints these universal employee needs: emotional well-being, physical health, financial security, social connection, and career growth. She's arguing HR needs to be thinking about the whole person.
The whole person.
Not just the worker bee.
It's making me think about those times, I don't know about you, but those times where I felt most engaged at work.
Right.
It wasn't about the superficial stuff. It was about feeling like my work had purpose.
Yeah.
Like I was learning and growing.
That's such a great point, and that's a perfect example of what EXD is trying to get at. It's about moving beyond that surface-level engagement to genuine motivation. Remember that image of engagement versus motivation, where engagement is this cheerful, kind of shallow character.
Right.
And then you have motivation, this deeply rooted, figure. It's almost like a tree.
Oh, yeah. Engagement is like, pizza party. And motivation is like, I'm making a difference.
Precisely. And I think that deeper level of motivation comes from aligning employees' needs with the organization's goals. It's about creating a work environment where people feel valued, where they feel challenged, and where they feel connected to something bigger than themselves.
So how do we get there? How do we actually design a better employee experience?
Yeah.
Because it feels like so many companies are just, I don't know.
Throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah, throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Yeah, and I think that's where the data-driven aspect of EXD comes in. One of the key points that Ola makes in this visual is we need to move away from guesswork and start actually listening to what employees are saying.
It makes me think about those dreaded annual employee surveys.
Oh, yeah.
The ones where you just know nothing's going to change.
Right.
Are we talking about a different kind of listening?
Absolutely. It's not just about collecting data, it's about using it to understand employee pain points and then, actually do something about it. So, for example, imagine you're onboarding a new employee. Right. And instead of just giving them a stack of paperwork, you use data from past new hires to create like a personalized onboarding experience.
Wow.
That addresses their specific needs and concerns.
That would be amazing. Like tailoring the experience to make it helpful.
Yeah.
Instead of just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But is all this data gathering and analysis really worth it?
Right.
I mean, some companies might balk at the time and resources it takes.
That's a fair point. And it's a question that Ola anticipates. She dedicates a whole section of the visual to the return on investment of EXD.
Oh, okay.
Highlighting that the benefits, they go far beyond just, happy employees.
So we're not just talking of the warm fuzzies.
Right.
We're talking tangible results.
Tangible results. Think about the cost of high turnover.
Yeah.
Low morale, disengaged employees. Those costs can be huge.
You're talking about lost productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly needing to recruit and train new people.
Yes.
The impact it has on the company's reputation.
All of that. EXD isn't just about creating a feel-good workplace.
No.
It's a strategic imperative for any organization that wants to attract and retain top talent, boost productivity, and drive innovation.
Okay, this is starting to click for me. But how do we know what to fix?
Yeah.
Is there some secret formula for understanding what makes employees tick?
Well, I think Ola's visual provides a really helpful framework for thinking about those employee needs.
Right.
But the real key is to listen to your employees.
Right.
Understand their specific pain points.
Yeah. And
then design solutions that are tailored to their circumstances.
So it's not about finding a one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah.
It's about being responsive. And adaptable.
Absolutely. One company might find their employees are craving more professional development opportunities. Another one might find it's work-life balance.
Yeah.
It really depends.
This is all so fascinating. We've covered so much ground.
I know, right?
From the importance of understanding the entire employee journey to the difference between engagement and motivation. And we've talked about the power of using data to design a better employee experience.
Yeah.
But there's still so much more to unpack, right?
There is. Ola's visual is so rich with insights.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to explore here, especially when it comes to specific strategies for attracting, onboarding, and developing talent in a way that really resonates with employees.
I'm eager to hear more. So what are some of those common pain points employees experience, and how can EXD help address them?
Well, that's a great question, and that's a great place to start. Let's dive into some specific examples.
Okay, let's do it.
One of the most common pain points, and this is something Ola highlights visually, is that feeling of being lost in the onboarding process.
Yeah.
That deer in the headlights look.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about paperwork overload,
Right.
It's about a lack of connection and clarity.
Oh, I've totally been there.
Yeah.
You're so excited to start a new job, and then you're drowning in forms and jargon, and no one seems to have time to answer your basic questions.
It's like
they just assume you know how things work.
Exactly. And that's a prime opportunity, I think, for EXD to step in.
Okay.
What if, instead of that generic welcome packet, you got a personalized onboarding experience?
Okay.
Based on your role,
right,
your background, even your learning style. Ola suggests using data gathered during the hiring process to tailor this experience.
Okay, I'm picturing like a quiz or something I took.
Right.
Like during the interview process.
Mm-hmm.
Where they asked about my communication preferences.
Exactly.
Like, do I prefer quick Slack messages or detailed emails?
Yeah.
And then, boom, my onboarding is structured around that.
Exactly. And it goes beyond communication. Imagine your onboarding included, introductions to key people you'll be collaborating with, or access to online resources specific to your role.
Yeah.
You'd feel seen and valued from day one.
I can see how that would make a huge difference in how quickly someone would feel like they're part of the team.
Yeah.
It's almost like anticipating their anxieties
and
proactively addressing them.
Right. And it's not just about making people feel comfortable. It's about setting them up for success. Ola's visual emphasizes that a smooth onboarding, it has a direct impact on long-term performance.
Right.
It's about giving employees the tools and support they need to hit the ground running.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we've tackled onboarding. What's another common pain point where EXD can really make a difference?
I think another area that Ola focuses on is the lack of growth opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Which is often, cited as a reason why people leave companies. And it's not just about promotions, right? It's about feeling like you're learning, expanding your skill set.
It's that feeling of stagnation.
Exactly.
Like you're just stuck.
Yeah. And the traditional approach to professional development, like those mandatory annual trainings, often really misses the mark.
Right.
So Ola advocates for a more personalized, continuous learning approach.
Okay, so what would that look like in practice?
So imagine your company has like a platform where you can access courses, mentorship programs, even just articles and videos.
Okay.
All curated based on your interests.
Oh, wow.
And career goals. So you can learn at your own pace on topics that you're actually excited about.
That sounds way more engaging.
Way more engaging.
Than sitting through a generic PowerPoint. But wouldn't that require a huge investment from the company?
Well, it would require a shift in mindset, for sure.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be this massive financial burden. Ola suggests, tapping into existing resources, like creating peer-to-peer learning opportunities.
Right.
Or encouraging employees to share their expertise through, like, internal workshops and things like that.
That's a smart approach. It's like fostering a culture of continuous learning, right?
Exactly.
Where everyone's both a teacher and a student.
Exactly. And that kind of culture not only benefits the employees, it helps the organizations stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
It's about creating a workforce that's adaptable, that's innovative, that's constantly evolving.
It's like that old saying, invest in your people and they'll invest in you.
Yes.
But let's be realistic. There's always going to be pushback from people who are laser focused on the bottom line. How do you convince them that EXD is worth the investment?
Right, and I think that's where the data comes back in.
Okay.
Allah really emphasizes the importance of measuring the impact of EXD initiatives,
Okay.
It's not just about anecdotal evidence, it's about tracking metrics like, employee retention, engagement levels, even productivity.
So it's about proving that happy and fulfilled employees actually lead to better business outcomes.
Exactly. And there's a growing body of research that shows just that.
Oh, wow.
Companies that invest in EXD tend to outperform their competitors in terms of both financial performance and employee satisfaction.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together. It's not just about creating a feel-good workplace.
No?
It's about creating a more successful and sustainable business.
Precisely. And that's why I think EXD is so much more than just an HR trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about work and the role it plays in our lives.
We've talked a lot about pain points and how EXD can address them. What about the positive side?
Yeah?
What are some of the things that companies can do to create a truly exceptional employee experience, something that goes beyond just fixing problems?
That's a great question. And that leads us to another important element that's highlighted in Ola's visual. So, Ola doesn't just focus on what's broken in the traditional employee experience.
Right.
She also points toward what's possible when we get it right.
Okay.
She uses this term in her visual moments of delight.
Moments of delight. I love that. Okay. I'm picturing those over-the-top company retreats, with the private concerts and all that.
Well, it doesn't have to be that extravagant.
Okay.
It's more about those small, unexpected gestures that make you feel appreciated and valued.
Like, give me some real-world examples.
So imagine you're working on a challenging project, right?
Yep.
And your manager sends you a handwritten note thanking you for your hard work.
Okay.
Or your company offers a surprise mental health day.
Nice.
Recognizing that everybody needs a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's something as simple as having a shared online space where colleagues can celebrate each other's successes.
Those are great examples, and I think it's so important to remember that those moments of delight don't have to be expensive or complicated.
No.
It's really about the thoughtfulness behind them.
Exactly. It's about creating a culture where people feel seen and appreciated, not just for what they produce, but for who they are.
It's about creating a workplace where people actually want to come to work.
Yes.
Not just because they have to. I'm starting to get a real sense of what a human-centered workplace could actually look and feel like. But let's get practical for a moment.
Okay.
If someone listening to this wants to start implementing these EXD principles in their organization,
Right.
where do they even begin?
Well, I think Ola's visual is a great place to start.
Okay.
It provides a really solid framework for thinking about the employee experience and identifying those areas for improvement.
Okay.
But it's important to remember that EXD is not one size fits all.
Right.
What works for one company might not work for another.
So it's about finding what works best for your specific organization
Yeah.
and your specific employees.
Yes.
But how do you even know what those needs are?
Right. And that's where that listening aspect we talked about earlier comes back in.
Okay.
It's about gathering data, both quantitative and qualitative, to really understand your employees' experiences, their pain points, and their aspirations.
So we're talking about things like surveys, focus groups, one-on-one interviews, even just informal conversations, in the hallway.
All of that.
Okay.
And it's important to remember that this is an ongoing process.
Right.
Not a one-time event. Employee needs and expectations are constantly evolving, so you need to be constantly listening and adapting.
It's like that iterative design process we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
You're constantly gathering feedback, making adjustments, and improving the experience over time.
Exactly, and it's not just about top-down initiatives.
Okay.
EXD is something that everyone in the organization can contribute to.
So it's about creating a culture where everyone feels empowered to share their ideas and make a difference. That's pretty powerful.
It is, and when you create that kind of culture, you unlock a level of creativity, innovation, and engagement that you simply can't achieve through traditional management approaches. It's about tapping into the collective wisdom and potential of your entire workforce.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, from the importance of understanding that entire employee journey to the power of using data to design a better experience. And we've explored how EXD can address those common pain points and create those moments of delight that make work feel more fulfilling.
It's been such a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Likewise.
And I hope our listeners are leaving feeling inspired and empowered to start shaping their own ideal employee experience.
Yeah.
Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. Be curious, be empathetic, and most importantly, be human.
Beautifully said. And that wraps up our deep dive into employee experience design. We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep creating workplaces that truly work for everyone.